You don't have to spend all your money what you earn. Start investing your money as early as possible and with as small as amount which you can manage to save and invest. Mutual fund is the most talked about investment tool, but does it suit you or not? And what kind of mistake people make when they're beginning to invest in mutual fund? I'm going to be talking to Deepak Jain. He's head of sales, Edelweiss Asset Management. Thank you so much, Deepak, for your time. I want to know, first of all, mutual fund as financial assets, you think this is a good option for a beginner who's never done any investment? He or she is getting his first salary. You think mutual fund is a good place to be in for them, a beginner?
Thanks a lot, Priyanka, for inviting me. Really looking forward to talking to your viewers. Before I answer your question, you mentioned that mutual fund is a tool. So the answer lies in this particular statement that you made, that mutual fund is a tool. It's a tool which is really good for beginners. It's good for mature players. People who have been in the market for long. It's a tool which provides you access to various kinds of investment. It's a vehicle. It's a vehicle which is good for short term journey as well as long term journey. It's good for amateurs. It's good for professionals. So in short, yes, mutual fund can really be good for somebody who have just started. One can start a savings by opening up a mutual fund folio and start with a liquid fund or a short term debt fund, or start an SIP. If there is no goal as such, you can start an SIP and see for yourself how far you go.
You just spoke about SIP, which are like systematic investment plan, wherein you put in small amount every month. There's also lump sum investment, wherein you can put one amount and just a big amount in one go. So, which one do you suggest for beginners? Which is a good vehicle? You think, as is pointed out, vehicle. So, I think SIP is a good vehicle, or lump sum is a good vehicle when the path is going to be of mutual funds.
So the vehicle remains to be a mutual fund, Priyanka. Uh, the SIP route and the lump sum route, those are two different routes to take for a journey which is different,
Vehicle and routes than
in
me.
different
So I'm going
context.
to stick to that. That mutual fund is the vehicle and the route is SIP or lump sum. So which one wins the race?
Okay.
Which one wins the race, SIP or
So,
lump sum?
so, no. I mean, there is no winning. I think both wins the race depending upon where you want to go, and what is your context. So, if you have lumpy earnings, if you earn, let's say, once in a year, or you get some paternal money, or you have sold an asset and you have lump sum money, then you can plan that investment. Assuming that you want to continue uh, growing that money for a foreseeable future, or maybe perhaps pass on to next generation, then you can do a proper asset allocation. You put some money in debt, put some money in equity, or even better, you can buy a balanced advantage or a dynamically managed asset allocation fund. Whereas SIP takes care of the problem of timing of the market, as well as flows which are smaller in nature and come periodically, like a salary. Most of us are in a job and we receive monthly payments in forms of salary, and we don't really have the pleasure of having large sums of money available at all points in time, and we don't even know the markets in terms of timing, etc. So SIP solves that problem, that you invest regularly, be a disciplined investor, and once you have a large sum of money, you can also invest in mutual funds by choosing various kinds of mutual fund, or asset allocation funds as they are properly known.
And how should one choose a mutual fund? If I'm just starting out, I'm a newbie, what should I be looking at while selecting the mutual fund?
So either you can do it yourself, or you can perhaps take an help of an advisor or a mutual fund distributor. Assuming that you do it yourself, you need to know why you are investing, what period you are investing, what is the risk appetite that you have, how much of market volatility can you absorb. Having gone through the entire process, SEBI has also clarified and made categories of mutual fund. There are debt categories, there are equity categories, and there are hybrid, which is basically a mix of equity and debt. Assuming you want to invest in, say, large cap fund, a fund which invests in India's top 100 companies by market cap. So you can pick one or two funds or three funds depending upon the track record of the fund manager pedigree, and these are the things that you can look for before investing. Not just returns, also how those returns have been delivered. Consistency is very important.
Okay, so you also spoke about there is, an equity-oriented fund, then there is a debt-oriented funds, and then there is this hybrid. So, do I have to follow some kind of a pattern in a portfolio, or when I start, do I have to stick to a particular asset class only?
Yeah. So when you start, you can start with let's say a hybrid kind of a model. If assuming that you are young and you have time at your disposal, then yes, you can start with some kind of an hybrid model, a balance advantage funds which moves between debt and equity depending upon a model that they follow. That may make your journey smoother. So basically, getting into a more sturdy and stable car and not necessarily a Formula One fast car. That can be done if you have an expertise or if you have really liking for the cars.
Okay,
So
so
if you're an
Deepika,
expert, you
just
can
tell me
choose
about
high risk
funds
return funds.
performance, What if like I'm midway of a fund, I've been holding it for some time and I see they're not doing well. Should I be switching to another fund or do I have to stick around with the same fund for some time? I mean, what do you suggest?
It's a very, very important question, and I'm glad you asked it. Um, Having been invested in a fund, you develop some kind of a association with the fund, and then you suddenly start seeing funds performance dipping. You need to go into the reason of those fund performance. Is it the fund manager change that is driving the fund performance? Has there been change in investment objective, or has there been additional risk which has been taken in the portfolio, or markets have gone another way and the fund portfolio is different? So for example, if there is a mid cap rally and your fund is a large cap fund, of course it may underperform. So but that underperformance is more to do with the market but then than with the fund. If a fund is underperforming, based on its investment objective and the other factors that I've mentioned for a considerable period of time, then yes, perhaps there is an merit for changing the funds, but not immediately.
You spoke about markets, and I want to ask a question which is related to the equity mutual funds. Whenever we see market in bad phases, and your return may have an impact, because of that. What should one do when markets fall? And if you're invested in an equity mutual fund, should you be taking out your stuff because you'll be at loss? Or should you be taking out money? We saw a solid redemption of mutual fund, when the markets went up and they're still going up. So lots of people are taking out their money. What should me as an investor be doing?
So once you have done your asset allocation, which means that you know how much to invest in equity and how much to invest in debt, then one should be using market falls as an opportunity to further, enrich the portfolio. So for example, let's say you decided 40% would be your equity allocation and 60% would be your fixed income allocation. And markets fell by 20% or 30% for that matter. So this is an opportunity to move some money from fixed income to equity rather than getting out. Similarly, if markets go really really high and your asset allocation changes from 40% to 50% because of market movement, it's time to book profit. So I think the discipline, the asset allocation, is the key to market volatility. Volatility can be your friend, actually can enhance your returns if you don't get carried away either ways, either too depressive or too optimistic on market movements. Over a longer period of time, markets do reward patience and stability.
Okay, so patience is the key, but I want to really know what kind of mistake do you see people make when they start the investment in mutual fund? What are the common mistakes that you want to point us out?
The first mistake is, as you rightly said, Priyanka, people come into mutual funds and market fall and they run away. It's like, you start a business with conviction and then you don't see the results in, let's say, 1 quarter, 2 quarter, and you want to shut down the business. That's not how a business is built. That's not how a portfolios will ever be built. So once you start an investment, you need to have a conviction and you need to give it time, a time which is reasonable, 5, 7, 10 years. Nothing can be built in a day or a two. But having said that, some of the common mistakes is very unrealistic expectations. For example, if markets have delivered 100% returns in last 10, 12 months, those returns may not be sustainable for over a longer period of time. So one needs to be realistic about market returns. The easiest way to look at is, whatever is your risk-free rate of return. You can look at, multiplying that by 1.5 times, 1.75 times, or maybe twice. So for example, your FD rates are 6%, you can expect 10, 12% returns over a period of time from markets. But if you're expecting 25, 30, 50% returns from markets, I don't think so this is the place where people will be very happy about it. It's going to disappoint them more often than not. Second is going too far too fast. It's like a driver learning to drive, puts the first gear, likes the joy, likes the thrill, and straight
To
away
the
goes
fifth
to
gear.
fifth and sixth gear. Yeah, so that's how it doesn't work. You have
So
to
you
go
have
it
to be
slowly,
slow,
go
you have
slow.
to have patience, and if you have unrealistic expectation of returns, then mutual funds are not for you. Thank you so much, Deepak, for taking out time for us. So that was Deepak Jain telling us that what are the mistake, and the biggest mistake is unrealistic expectation of returns. So thanks for watching us.